What's up, everybody? Back here at the lodge playing some 2-5 with a mandatory $10 straddle. Love to see it. And one of the first hands of the night, I wake up with Pocket Kings, the Cowboys.
Did you see them yesterday?
On the button. Under the gun +1 goes $30, and +2 actually just puts in the call. It does fold around to me on the button, and we're going to be putting in that 3-bet. Our hand is too strong to be flat in here. Obviously, second best hand in poker. So we do bump it up to $115 in position. It does fold all the way back around to the original raiser, and they decide to put in the 4-bet to $270. I mean, that's just music to my ears when I have Pocket Kings, right? Under the gun +2 does fold. And now I have a decision here. We are playing $1,500 effective, basically 150 big blinds, if you want to look at it that way. So I have a decision here, whether do I want to call and take a flop, or do I just want to get it in? So I actually tank here for about 20-30 seconds, just thinking about it, and I decide we're going to have an Aunt Jemima moment. I am all in for $1,500 on the dot. And my opponent snap calls. And they do ask me how many times I want to run it. I said, Kings, been having a rough week. You know what? And they didn't show their hand, but I say, hey, F it. Let's just run it one time with Pocket Kings. So let's go to the run out.
Yeah. You get to rest, you get to like look people up.
Aces, fives, kings, four.
And what a beautiful flop. King right there in the window, and then we boat up in the river. We only lose 2 pocket fives. Of course, my opponent isn't going to have that in their 4-bet range. They do flip over pocket aces, and we turn over pocket kings. What a way to catch a 2-outer for a 150 big blind pot for $1,500. Let's get it. And second hand of the night, I wake up with Jack 10 of hearts under the gun. $10 straddle was on. I do open up to $30. It does fold all the way around to button, and they put in a 3-bet for $100. Does fold all the way back around to me, and I decide to put in a call. We are playing very deep here, so I'm going to be defending Jack 10 suited here. And we're going to go heads up to a flop of Ace, Jack 7, 2 clubs. There's 1 heart on the board. Very good for me. So I do have middle pair, and I do have some backdoor equity, 2 hearts, as well as straights. So pretty good, pretty good. And I start out with a check here. My opponent puts out a C-bet of $65. And keep in mind, this is actually the same opponent where I just cracked his aces. And I do call the $65 bet. Not going to check raise here. And the turn brings in the 4 of hearts. Really, really good turn here. Now we have second pair, and the backdoor flush draw is coming in very nicely. So any heart on the river would be really good for me. I check, and my opponent decides to check back, so we get to realize our equity for free on the river. But unfortunately, it does come the 7 of diamonds. Not the card I wanted to see. Would have took another jack or a 10 or something like that, but hey, hopefully our jack is somehow good. There's a possibility. So yeah, on river, no point in me betting here. I do check. My opponent checks back rather quickly, and they say they have pocket kings, which is pretty funny because I just had kings and cracked their aces, and now they had pocket kings and the aces on the board, so they didn't even get that much money from me in the pot. So pretty much lost the minimum here. I am not complaining at all. And third hand of the night, I look down in big blind. It looks like we got a big blind special. I wake up with pocket kings, the Cowboys, again for the second time of the night. The $10 straddle is on by under the gun. And surprisingly, it folds all the way around to me in big blind. So we're just going to be heads up here in the blinds. I do make it $30 to go. My opponent thinks for a little bit, and he actually puts in the 3-bet against me to $100. And we are playing super deep here with this opponent. I have about $3,000 in front of me, give or take. They have $3,000 to $5,000 in front of them, so they have me covered. And I decide, yeah, definitely gonna have to put in the 4-bet here, blind versus blind. It could be 3-bet bluffing. Don't want to give them a cheap flop here and play pocket kings out of position. So yeah, I do put in the 4-bet to $255. But unfortunately, this time around, my opponent pretty much just snaps, folds. But hey, we take down another pot with the Cowboys. And this time around, the $20 straddle is on. And I get dealt pocket kings for the 3rd time of the night. And under the gun, like, are you kidding me? Just kings everywhere. And with the straddle on, I do open up to $55 this time around. And we're gonna have multiple callers here. A player in low jack puts in the call for 55. Small blind puts in the call as well. And the $20 straddle decides to complete and come along too. So we're gonna go 4 ways to a flop of 5, queen, 10, 2 diamonds. And I do have red kings, so I do have the king of diamonds and king of hearts here, really important. And also for this hand, the dealer accidentally misdealt, so the queen of spades is not in the deck. It was used as the first burn card, so it's going to be harder for somebody to have a pair of queens. And also that means there are only 2 queens left in the deck. And the under the gun straddle and small blind both check. And I decide to put out a small wager multi-way here of $100, roughly 50%, give or take, of the pot. The person in low jack puts in the call, and small blind and under the gun straddle both fold. So we're going to be going heads up to the turn, and it comes the 4 of hearts. Unfortunately, the person who called actually is in position to me, so I do have to be a little bit careful here. But with the 4 of hearts coming in, pretty good turn, no diamond. And 4 is pretty much a blank here at this point. So I do decide to put out another bet here on the turn. I decide to size up a bit this time, and I make it $300. My opponent in low jack does think for a little bit, but he does put in the call. So we're going to go to the river, and it somehow comes the queen of diamonds. Are you kidding me? Another queen is out there on the board, and it comes with the diamond variety. So looking pretty rough here, but once again, I do have the king of diamonds in my hand, so I am blocking some flushes. It's really important. And there's only 1 queen left in the deck now. But at this point, with the queen coming, I'm still going to be a little bit cautious here. I do decide to hit the brakes, and I do put in the check. Luckily, my opponent snap checks back. That's exactly what I want to see here. I let them know that I have pocket kings, and they turn over ace 5 of hearts. So pretty good here, and we take down this massive pot. So happy that the $20 straddle was on. And final results for this session, I do end up $1,545. And what a session that was. But if you like higher stakes, I play 5, 10, 20 at the lodge in this video, so make sure you check it out.